Hey there everyone, Andrew Lopez of Partner Channel OC. Very excited for today's episode. I am out here in the wonderful Franklin, Tennessee. So now, 12 episodes in, I am intra-national. This is a very, very exciting episode. Very glad to be here. A little different from Orange County, the humidity. But where I'm at, I wish I could show you, it looks like we're back home in Irvine. So I have a wonderful, wonderful guest today. Jena, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Very excited to tell your story and what you do and kind of what you started. I think what you've started is revolutionary.
Thank you.
And I'm very, very excited to tell everybody. So Jena, this is Jena Viviano, everybody.
Hello.
Very excited she's with us. And Jena, tell us a little bit, where you're from, what's your story?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Going home there this weekend, which will be super fun. But grew up there and went to school in eastern Pennsylvania, and after that moved to New York City, migrated there. It's pretty much what everybody from my college does. And I started my career out on Wall Street. So I started working in investment banking, and I was working like 100 hours a week. And realized quite quickly that that lifestyle was just not for me at all whatsoever.
I could imagine.
Yeah, it was so great. And so I remember laying on the 32nd floor of the building, which address I will not give, although I remember it quite vividly, on Saturday morning, just like crying. I was like, I have to get out of here. I have to get out of here. And a friend of mine, through some networking, had told me about a position at the New York Stock Exchange. And I actually went to my first interview there, and I'm pretty sure I cried during my interview because I was so exhausted. Ended up making a big career change there. Worked there for about 2 years and then pivoted even bigger to a startup called The Muse, which is a career advice platform. They have also opportunities to look for new jobs and career coaches. And so the career coaching platform actually was something I kind of started doing on the side on my own. I realized I was really good at finding new jobs and started helping other people just for free, and then started charging for it, and then started charging a little bit more. And then here we are today, fast forward 3 years into the business, first year full time, and live in Nashville, Tennessee, Franklin, Tennessee, right outside. And just, it's been an amazing experience. My career is really where I feel like I've grown the most personally, actually, where people say, oh, it's professional growth. I think a lot of what happens in your professional life translates over into your personal life. And so for me, it's been a really fun ride.
Yeah, as I always say to everyone who watches, is you've come to the right place, and that's, home.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, even in less than 24 hours, this place is awesome.
Yeah, it's so dreamy.
I'm almost going to start Partner Channel Tennessee because this place is amazing, and Jena's chosen a really, really cool place. No, I admire kind of the fact that you decided, I can do this myself.
Yeah.
And what kind of, stemmed you into starting that yourself? And can you tell me about what your business is?
Yeah, so I think for me, it was just I always knew from a little girl that I wanted to own my own business. My dad's an entrepreneur, so I come from a family of entrepreneurs, and back in the day, there were these American Girl doll books, and they had them for American Girl dolls were historic, but they also had the ones for in real life girls. So there were my favorite book was the Moneymakers book. So I think I probably should have realized at a young age that was probably my future. But I didn't know what type of business I wanted to do. And so it just became this evolution of figuring out what was I really good at. And this is really what I tell a lot of clients. What are you really good at? What do you really love and enjoy doing? And what do you really hate doing in your job? And how can you move away from that and move more towards this? Very simplistically, that's really what we all are searching for in our work. And then purpose and mission and all that kind of stuff. And so for me, I knew that I wanted to build something that was my own. I loved helping to build the Muse. I was the 33rd or so employee there, and by the time I left, it was about 160. And so it was so fun to watch that evolution that I knew for myself I wanted to build something, and I wanted to help people in the same space because I really believe that our careers are a place where we spend a third of our lives there. It's important that we love what we do.
Oh, of course.
And then we just feel fulfilled in some way, or shape, or capacity, and contentment comes in different ways. But for me, I now own a career coaching business, and so what I do is I help people figure out what the heck they want to do with their lives, and then how to get there, and then via which we can talk about a little bit, but via personal branding. I really think that candidates need to think about themselves totally different than they used to be thinking about themselves. It used to be just, I'm going to put my resume in, I hope someone, pray to the recruiting gods that someone picks it up and wants to bring me in for an interview, and hopefully I don't screw that up, and maybe I'll get a job. We live in such a tech-focused world. You have LinkedIn, you have these applicant tracking systems. How the heck do you get around them? And I was just realizing, I've worked with 800 or so people now, and just realized that the personal branding portion of it and how you differentiate yourself in the marketplace, you're essentially a salesperson when you're trying to find a job.
Of course.
You are a salesperson, and most people don't know how to sell themselves. They feel uncomfortable doing it, and they don't know how to articulate it in such a way that the employer actually cares. And so that's really what I help people do.
Okay, because you can sell, the skills that you have, but it's more so than just the skills. You sell your personality.
Yeah.
You sell your value.
Yep.
You sell what you believe in. Whether it's the product or just the way that you approach business, because everybody has their own type of what I would say flavor. You can be trained one way and you can sit through a training, coming from the IT world, but you always have your own take or your own flavor to give. And I think you're really trying to highlight that and say, you know what, you might be perfect on paper, but it's more than just what's on paper. You got to be able to sell yourself and prove that I'm a good person to work with. Not just see, okay, they might be a good fit,
Yeah.
but you also kind of make it where you want to go after the job that you want, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it comes down to understanding what is the value that you have to offer. Like, what is I always ask my clients, okay, what value do you bring to the table? It's always like, oh, I don't know the answer to that. And hopefully by the end of me working with that person, they understand, oh, I can come to the table, and if they ask me why they should hire me, I have a clean answer as to what that is. It's much harder to do than you would realize. This is what I do in a nutshell. This is how I'm bringing value. This is why you want me to have a good part of your team to help you reach your goals. And so most people just think, oh, I can just check mark and do these requirements that are listed on the job description. Well, as you said, it's can I work on the team? It's more just not just your skills based. It's skills, it's mission, and it's team culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, I really like that. And one way that I connected with Jena, in the LinkedIn world, and it's my first time out here in Tennessee, and it's kind of how 2018 works now. You can connect with people all over the country and all over the world.
Super fun.
The one thing that I really grabbed onto, and I'm very excited for her to tell everyone about this, is her model of recruit the employer. When I saw that, and I looked at your website, my mind was blown. Nobody, especially where I come from, all these innovators in California, and everyone thinking they have this idea, but that is something I've never seen. And I'm so excited to, I think it's revolutionary what you're trying to do. So tell everybody, what is recruit the employer?
So a lot of the job search process, I'll first talk about the problem right now, is that it's very reactive. We are like, oh my gosh, I hate my job, I need to get out of it, I need to react to that versus being proactive. And I was just seeing that time and time again that people were just kind of letting the employers take control of the process. You really much do. It's kind of like, oh, I'm excited to have the job. It's very reactive and kind of, you're not interviewing the employer as well, which I wanted to change that a little bit and make people have a more proactive approach to it where they are branding themselves in such a way that they don't have to rely on just whether or not their resume is applicant tracking system friendly, which is the most ridiculous thing ever. It's a part of the process, and you need to have a resume. I'm not saying that. I always make the joke I broke up with resumes. And the whole premise of Recruit the Employer, we do your resume, but it's more around how do you talk about yourself? Do you have clarity on where you're even going in the first place? Then how do you position yourself in the marketplace so that you are differentiated, so that someone knows why they should hire you versus someone else? So the program is an 8-week intensive with me, and it's really designing what your personal brand is. So I take people through 4 different sections. It's getting clarity on what you want the job to be, helping you figure out how do I actually find that job now that I know what it is? Do I go on the job search platforms? How do I network with people? All those big questions. And then once we're figuring that out, okay, now that we know the direction that we're in, we need to get all of our marketing materials in place, including the dreaded resume. It's part of it, you need to have it, but how do we make it in such a way that it actually tells your story helpfully, and not just, here's my list of things that I can do. There's a very big difference between a resume that tells your key accomplishments and tells a story versus dumping something in a template and just hoping that it's right.
Hoping that your word choice and you craft the right kind of, this skill, let me change it, let me take it off Google, but let me
it's so annoying and it's so frustrating. I feel frustration. I had to write a resume recently actually for myself, and I was like, oh, I feel people's pain. It can be just
it's a dreaded task, but it's the most important. You would think it wouldn't matter the most, because in this, as you're trying to explain, is you're selling yourself, but it's still a critical piece of finding a job or chasing the career that you want to attain.
But at the same time, it's only read for 6 seconds. There's so much attention brought to this resume when everyone's forgetting about what's my elevator pitch. What is the value that I can bring to a table? Can I speak about that cohesively? And so getting your marketing materials to reflect that is your cover letter, your LinkedIn. LinkedIn's super important. It is the most underutilized resource by job seekers, but the most overused resource by salespeople and recruiters. So the people that really know how to use LinkedIn really well are not job seekers, which is a problem. And so it's teaching you how to better use it, how to market yourself, how to network with people on there. It's how we met, I've met a slew of other people on social platforms, and then also outside of the box ways to get in touch with people you need to get in touch with and framing yourself in that way. And then finally, how do you interview? I have like a 95% moving on to the next round rate with somebody who goes through my, hopefully keep it up, people. But yeah, it's anyone who goes through that portion of it, it's usually, it's just thinking about a job in a different way that I help people think about it differently, where you're actually recruiting the employer instead of waiting for them to recruit.
Yeah, you're flipping the script, and that's why I think it's so powerful. This program that you have to help people, and how can somebody start? Does somebody need, what do they need to start with you?
Yeah, so first we would just set up a phone call, quick 15, 30-minute phone call, just so I can understand, hey, where are you at? What industry are you in? What are you trying to achieve? Where are you really struggling? And then see, is the program right for you? It's not right for everybody. It's right for the right people.
Yeah.
Really, I have a client right now. He's my favorite client right now. I don't have favorites, but he is one of my favorites because he's awesome. He just takes the process really seriously. So I look for people that are really ambitious. I look for people that want to invest in their careers and don't think that, I just gave my money away to college and I'm not going to worry about it then. You want to be proactive in the process versus I'm just being reactive. And so there's a big difference in the type of person that I want to work with and will work with, because you won't be successful in the program otherwise, and I don't want that for you or me. So
of course. All right, so last question for us here. Something we always talk about on Partner Channel OC is the true value of partnership. And Jena, I want to know, just for everybody watching and for the show, how do you value partnership in your business?
Yeah, I think partnership takes off a couple different forms. Obviously I partner with my clients, and a lot of them I've become friends with over the years and still keep in contact with, and so that partnership turns into kind of a friendship. But just generally speaking, I think the definition of partnership for me is the same as it is for networking. And a lot of people, when they hear networking, they think, oh my gosh, it's so awkward, it's so painful. But really, if you just, instead of using the word networking, let's switch it and think of partnership. And so networking, very simply put, is mutually beneficial relationships developed over time. And so for me, that's really what that looks like. It's, how we met and just developing those relationships and making sure that you can bring value to that individual as much as they potentially could bring to you, but always providing value first, I think, is what partnership really looks like when done in its most purest form. Of
course. No, I love that. Partnership, as we've kind of all collectively talked about, is everything.
Yeah.
You could be a one-person business, but you rely on partnerships.
Yeah.
And
very heavily.
And value so much to do what you do every day. You could almost say that you wouldn't be you and your business if it wasn't partnerships.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it looks like I have a partnership with the Muse still. I have partnerships with some of my resume writers and some people I outsource services to. I'm doing a branding rehaul in July, and I have a woman who's amazing, and she's redoing my website and the branding around that, and so that's partnership too. And so also I think it's kind of interesting when you kind of brought that up. The partnership, also how I look at it is, friends and family that support you. That's like partnering with you in your thing that you're about to go into and do. And so I actually tell a lot of clients, like, if your spouse isn't on board with you doing this, if you don't have friends and family that are going to support you doing this as well, that's going to be hard. So having that has been really valuable for me. My parents have been really supportive of me going out on my own, and friends and family too. So.
Well, it sounds like you got it all figured out.
Oh, I don't think so. Some things, yes, not all things.
I very much appreciate you telling your story and highlighting on you changing the game, flipping the script, or what I say, being disruptive, and really, really honing in on the fact that it's all about you as the one who's finding the job. It's all about you. It's not about, how do I say it? It's kind of selling yourself, as we touched on in the very beginning, and focusing on, what, I can do this. I can go find the job that I want. I might be in my career for 15 years, but I can now utilize your platform. But even outside of that, just I can do it.
Yeah.
And there might be a lot of fear. Hey, I've been here 15 years, or I've been here for this long. The pay's good. I'm afraid to make the jump. But you're saying, hey, it's okay.
It's okay.
Because you ultimately want to be happy, and you want to find the career that you love.
Yep. Agreed.
Well, awesome. I appreciate everything that you've told me and told everybody, and I really, really hope that there's some of you out there who can utilize Jena. Whether you're kind of in that transitional period and you're looking to make a really, really big change for yourself, Jenna's here to take care of you. Please connect with her. She puts out a lot of amazing content on LinkedIn, so connect
Love
with her.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn is amazing. The advice that she gives and the questions that she asks really spark a lot of good conversation. So I've been very happy to see all that, and I think you provide very good value, even just with the posts and what we're talking about here.
Thank you.
So I'm going to put Jenna's contact below. Please reach out to her, connect with her. She's here to be a really good friend to you, but also a partner in helping you find the career that you're looking for. Jenna, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tennessee's amazing. I might be living out here and
Come
starting Partner Channel Tennessee. But thank you so much for everything that you do, and I'm very stoked, as we say back home,
stoked.
for you and your adventure. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All righty, everybody, cheers from Tennessee.
Bye.